What is this? Is this Adobe?
Huh?
Is this Adobe?
Yes, Adobe.
This is like a full screen thing. Ah.
Single-page view.
Yeah, let me go. But there's something that gets rid of all this stuff. Yeah, but like there's something that gets rid of all this stuff. It's fine. Okay, let's use this. So can you guys see, at least see what the board? See the projector? Yes, no, maybe, kind of. I don't understand. In this direction, Abi. But if we shifted it, would you be able to see it? Huh? I think that's probably gonna work. Oh, okay. How about now? Is that better? Huh? Okay. Still. Yeah. Yeah, so like at the end of this class, let's figure out a way to move this somewhere over there to get like a much bigger screen. Okay. So for the rest of the classes. All right, cool. Is my mic on? Am I live? I'm not live yet. Am I live? You're streaming? All right, good. Okay, morning guys. How have you been enjoying the program so far? Or you're not enjoying it at all? It's too hard or it's too easy? It's not stimulating at all. Give me feedback, Anybody, somebody, anyone? No one? Feedback, yeah?
Okay, so I would say Talentmine program it's very stimulating.
Okay, what main points? What do you think we should work on?
I like what I wrote to feedback on.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit more break time.
A little bit, oh, more break time. Okay, fine, no, it's fair, like it's fair. You need your brain to calm down, to cool down. Okay, that's fair feedback. Anybody else? You want to say something? No feedback at all. He summarized everything. Anybody else have anything to add? Well, what's going on? Everybody seems very cold. Is it because of the rain? It's because of the rain. All right, let's all warm up. Everybody, let's stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Yes. Up. Come on. Come on. Get up. Get up. Get up. Come on. Up. That's fine. Now look for 3 people in this class that you haven't spoken to. Get their names and their schools and have a short conversation. We'll do that for like 3 minutes. 3 people that you haven't spoken to before, you've never seen. And wait. There's one more. Wait. There's one more rule. The person needs to be sitting at least 3 rows away from you. Yes. Yeah. So like you shouldn't be on your row. You should be like 3 rows away, 3 rows in front, or 3 rows behind. You should be moving. Yeah. Are we live? What's the problem? Any problem? Okay. Why is it blood? Why is it blood? Right. I can't see.
I think it's on live. It's not on live.
Put it on live view, let me see. But instead of doing it like this, why don't you have it on your system and flip? Oh, send it to on the Slack. Perfect. So instead of projecting on this, project on me and then flip it. Well, if that's what you're doing, you have that now, Abby. She's going to send it to you, and then you can flip it. Then you can have that on me, and then make sure the focus is on me. Have you met 3 people you didn't know before? You met 5. Okay. And they were 3 rows away from you. Are we good? How come we didn't use this place before? This place is... Okay.
19,000 per hour.
Okay. 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 Oh. So we went from 19,000 to 3,000. 33 for the whole day. Okay. 1,000 per hour. Okay. But I guess that they will want somebody who is easy for a whole day, rather than like on an hour basis. It's a good move. Good move. All right. Okay. Everyone back to their seats. Everyone back to their seats. Cool. So we've done 2 things. We've woken you up and you've met some people, right? Do you feel a bit more energized about this class now? Have you a little bit more energized? Don't worry, like the energy will begin to come. Okay, cool. So it's good to have you guys around for another day, another session. Okay, yeah, focus on me now. Thank you. Sorry, hold on. Are we live? Oh, okay. Is everything okay with everybody else? Yes. Good. This is what I want. Feedback. Someone has feedback. I knew I needed to wake you up to get feedback. All right, give me feedback. Yeah, go on. Yes. I agree. Thank you for backing his feedback. It's much appreciated. Oh yeah, well, I like this place as well. So yes, so the thing is that we initially had an arrangement with the previous place, but then after all the things that happened, like we thought that it wasn't good enough for you guys to be able to take classes. It wasn't comfortable enough, so we had to find somewhere else. So even though we're moving to here, this is probably going to be the most, this is like the permanent place that we're going to be using. The only difference will be when you have the mock interviews and when you have the split classes. So with the split classes, it will be a different venue. With the mock interviews, it's going to be a different venue. But for like the main classes where everybody is together, it's going to be here. So we're not going to be shifting venues that much. Don't worry, we're not taking you on a tour of Lagos. It's not. That's not our plan. Okay. Any other pieces of feedback? Yeah, I know, we're amazing. We do a great job. The teachers are really, they're blowing your mind ahead. But like, I need like proper feedback. Yes. Yeah. So, sorry. Give me your name. Give me your name first, and then like second. Toby, you wanted Amala. Okay. Okay, it's fine. I mean, I'll speak to Beatrice about that. Yeah, so maybe we'll skip it from like meat pie to sausage roll to donuts. Oh, that's, yeah, okay, fine, that's fine. Then from Coke to water to Zobo, that kind of stuff, right? Any other feedback? Anything else? Nobody? All right, cool. Did you all fill the feedback forms? They all filled the form. Good. So like, feedback is very, very important to us. We always want to improve the classes for you guys and for those people who are coming after. So help us do that by filling out the feedback forms. And give us feedback on the facilitators as well, because it's useful for them so they can know how to improve the classes that they give you. So we want to make sure that everybody leaves here with like, you know, super well trained. All right? Have they done like tests, the technical tests? Okay. How did you find the tests? The assignments. Oh, that assignment. They didn't have like tests. Aptitude tests, but no technical tests. Why not? It was given in the form of an assignment. What was that? Okay. Accounting and pitch book was what I gave them as assignments. But then we need to give them tests for my own class. Yeah, for my own class on like the investment banking thing. Okay, I'll do that. I'll send that to you. So like I heard you. So how was the assignment? It was fine. I like everyone was like, that means it's too easy. We need to ramp it up. Yeah, it's good. It was tough. It was tough. Exactly. That's good. That's good. That means we need to ramp it up to make it tougher. No, we need to make it tougher. What about the aptitude test that you're doing? This thing is hard. This thing is busting your pharoma. Right? So it's cool. Like, it's fine. We want to make sure that you're challenged. Keep doing the assignments. You will notice that you're getting better. And you will notice that, what happened? Okay. You will notice that you're getting better, and you will notice that, like, you know, you're improving your skills. So have you guys been reading the news? Have they done stock pitches? All right, cool. Do we have the randomizer? Do we have the randomizer? We don't have the randomizer. Why don't we have the randomizer yet? I was getting excited to pick someone at random to tell about something on the news. They bribed you. They bribed you.
So we have by the next.
Okay, by the next class.
Yeah, I have a feedback.
Let me just finish. Sorry. So Emeka's question is like, because we're splitting you into classes, you are going, some people will go for investment banking class, some will go for sales and trading class. And then some people, and then because the banks will sort of switch people around basically. So it means that when it gets to the point where they're switching you around, it's usually at the point that you've gotten selected. It's not during the interview. They wouldn't at application tell you that, oh, you applied for investment banking. You should instead apply for sales and trading. You understand what I'm saying? So they wouldn't do that. It's usually say you've gotten to the final class, let's not say class, the final interview, and then they're like, okay, we like you, but there's no space in investment banking. We want to push you to like, and then very often it's not like sales or trade. It's usually stuff like finance or GTS or credit risk, or it's kind of like departments that are affiliated to banking or to trading, but are not like hardcore in those divisions. You understand what I'm saying? The reason why we're asking to split you into classes is because we want you to spend time deep diving into each of those divisions, right? Like, so if we asked, we wouldn't have it if we asked everybody to learn about sales and trading, everybody to learn about investment banking, you would be here for like 6 months if we really wanted you to learn it properly. You understand? And then we're here for a limited period of time. I don't know if that answers your question. Because we really want you to like pick one and then super deep dive into that one. But the thing is that even if they're swapping you between divisions, right? So that's what we're going to be discussing today. How to write a really good cover letter and how to put together an amazing CV. Okay? So we'll start with the CV. And here I have like a sample CV that we'll just walk through. This, as usual, is an interactive class. If you're joining us online, feel free to ask questions. If you're here, feel free to ask questions as well. But what we'll do in terms of like the process is I will walk us through this CV, and then I'll walk us through a cover letter as well, and then you can get the key components of the whole thing, okay? So like, you all know what a CV is. I'm not gonna like define a CV, that's ridiculous. You know what that is. But the key thing that you're trying to pass across on your CV is, these are the list of things that I have done, and they are all amazing, okay? And they're not just all amazing, they're amazing and they're quantifiable. And that's what I'm showing you. And they all seem to align in some way to finance, okay? So that's essentially what, do you want to charge this up or connect this to power so it doesn't keep going off? And essentially, that's what you're saying on the CV or the resume. In terms of length, preferably try and keep it to 1 page. If your CV is getting to 3 pages, you are writing rubbish. Yeah. Remember when they used to joke about like exams and like they're like, oh, if you're asking for extra booklets, many times not because you know the answer, it's because you're just trying your luck, try write everything and everything. One of them will shall hit. Lecturer will find it and then will mark it correctly. So it's almost the same thing with CVs, right? Usually try and keep your CV to like one page. Max, if you're like amazing, 1.5 pages. But usually if you keep it to 1 page, you're fine, you'll hit all the key things. But what are those key things, right? In terms of structure, the first piece is it charging up now? Okay, in terms of structure, first thing is your name, obviously. First thing is your contact information, that's your name, your address, email, phone number, etc., etc. Next thing you want to talk about is your education, okay? Then after that, you're talking about your work experience, and then you're wrapping it up with a few skills, and maybe a small column on like other information that you think it's relevant. So let's go through each of these sections one after the other. As you can see, this is a pretty good CV. It's quite dense, and it's like a page long. Yeah, name and John. Yeah, I can't zoom out, John, sorry. Like if you can't see, there's space here that you can sit on if if you are half blind like me, so it's fine. I understand your pain, I feel it now. So let's go through each of the sections one piece after the other, right? So first thing obviously is the name. They need to know who you are, right? So put your name there. This person, true Nigerian, Temilola Saliu Nkechi, has names from every part of the country. And your contact information, so your address, your mobile number, and your email. This is where attention to detail matters a lot. Check, double check, and triple check that these pieces of contact information are correct, okay? So it makes no sense if you have an amazing CV and you write the wrong phone number or you write the wrong email address and the person can't contact you. Like it's just been a complete waste, okay? So one thing you need to be careful of. Yes, the other thing I also wanted to mention is regarding fonts of, what's it called? Fonts for the CV or the cover letter, the letter that you need to submit. In terms of fonts, please do not use Times New Roman. Do not use Comic Sans. You know Comic Sans, right? That one that's bending, that looks like they use for children's birthday parties. Don't use that. So try and stick to like pretty standard, very formal fonts. Usually you encourage people not to use Times New Roman because Times New Roman is like the default font on Microsoft Word. Most people feel that, oh, you use the default font because you couldn't even figure out how to change the font in Microsoft Word. You understand? So fonts that I suggest you can hardly ever go wrong with: Arial or Arial, I don't know, Calibri, you can't go wrong with that. Verdana, that's a pretty good font as well. But most times if you use Arial or Calibri, you're fine. So it's very common to use those fonts. So they're clean, they're simple, and they're professional. All right. So next thing you want to talk about is education. So each of the line items under, what's it called? In the CV are always put in what we call reverse chronological order. So reverse chronological order means that you're starting from the most recent and then you're working backwards. You understand? So the most recent thing that you're putting today, the most recent thing that you're doing now is the first thing that you put on your CV. So it goes the same way for like, your education piece, the experience piece, etc., etc. So now under education, of course, at this point, most people are just, either you're just graduating or you're still in school. So the most recent thing that you'll be putting there would be school, right? So this person went to Obafemi Awolowo University, has the date on the side, 05 to, whatever. If you're still in that role or in that position, you can say like either till date, so and so say till date, or so and so dash present. Please do not put so and so date dash till date, right? It's a kind of like, this is kind of like to, right? So that's kind of like a tautology. So you're saying 2005 to till date. It doesn't really sound right. So you can put the date. Of course, add the date, add the school you went to, what you're studying. If you're still in school, feel free to put in view. That basically means that you're waiting to get that degree if you're still in that process. And then on your bullets, as I said, the CV is basically to show you off, right? Just want to show you off, right? I'm trying to remember the song section. So the first bullet that you want to add are stuff like, the bullets you want to add are stuff like prizes, scholarships, like, top of your class, that kind of thing. So if you're like either a first class candidate, you graduated with the first class or something like that, something like both, right? Make that the first bullet that you put there. Graduated top 5 in a class of, if you're in accounting in Ife, 500 people, something. How many people are in accounting in Ife? Like, how many people in Ife here accounting Ife? How many like 1,000, I mean? 800, 600, 340, they've reduced the number. Back in my time, you guys used to be like 2,000. 10% of the school population was accounting. No, I'm just joking, it wasn't that crazy. So first thing would be like, maybe like top 5 students in a class of like, so and so, or top 2%, or like best graduating student, or etc. You get what I'm saying? Like that thing that sets you apart from the crowd, put that first. If it's a first class, so you're saying, first class CGPA of so and so. If you're a 2-1, well, everyone here is more than a 2-1. I don't think there's anyone here with a 2-2, right? So if you're a 2-1, sorry. I'm sorry to make you feel bad, but just whatever. Yeah. So don't bother putting it. It's not sweet enough. Okay. So but sorry, I know you worked hard for it. No vex. But like stuff like first classes and stuff. And then the next thing you want to talk about are like scholarships. So if you got like Chevron scholarship, mobile scholarship, state scholarship for something, that sort of sets you apart. And then the next thing you want to add are like your courses. So think about the courses that you've taken that sort of align with what you're applying for. So let's say you're going for something in finance, maybe you took a course in like macroeconomics or like, psychology or something, right? So, or like if you're in accounting, financial accounting, blah, blah, blah. If you're in a non-finance related course, I'm pretty sure you might have taken an elective or one of your courses are kind of marginally similar. So for example, on my CV for this kind of thing, I think I took like principles of economics, like SOC. I think that was like SOC 101 or something like that. I can't remember what it was. But it was like one of these, it was like an elective course for other departments or something. No, if it's elective, that would be, it couldn't be, electives are not SOCs. I've forgotten anyway, like, yeah, whatever. So I took an elective in economics or something in school, so I put that on the list. And I think we had a compulsory course that we had to take from social sciences, which was like sort of economic related or something. So I put that on the list. So even if you're not in anything that's like economics or finance related, I'm pretty sure you would have done something in your class that's similar. Or you've done mathematics or something like that. Almost everybody does maths or something, especially if you're in the sciences, even the arts or the commercial parts in like the first year, right? So add those. So courses that are kind of similar to the role that you're applying for. And once you do that, you're done. The next thing you probably want to talk about would be professional courses. So let's say you're doing like the ACCAs or the ICANNs or whatever. You can take that as like school and then put that there under education as well. As usual, if you're working on it in view, right? And then follow the same pattern. Then the last thing you want to stop with is secondary school. Please don't go to primary school. Nobody cares, right? We don't care if you were food prefects in primary 4. That is like all long and gone. That ship has sailed. But at the minimum or like at the maximum, stop at like secondary school. The same process, the dates, etc., etc. School you went to, what the certification you ended up with, and it's the same thing, right? Like if you had distinctions in any subjects in your WAEC, you had school prizes, all those kind of things. If you get the pattern is basically what are those amazing things that I did in school that I want to show off, right? Everybody has at least one minimum. At least in secondary school, everybody was a prefect. In a class of 200, there will be 195 prefects in that class. If you're one of the 5 people that were not prefects, yes, God help you. Right, okay, so that's it for the education component. The next thing, you can, awesome, thanks, man. So the next thing is work experience. Now, I need to sort of highlight this. If you're applying for BAMO, they like you to, so when they say work experience, they actually mean jobs. It's like a job or like an internship by a company. The reason is because they always verify these roles. Actually, we are the ones who even do the verification. So we'll physically call up these companies or visit these companies. And if we find that it's not a company or it's not like an entity, registered entity. When they say a company, it means registered entity. It doesn't mean like it has to be like this big establishment. If it's something like your uncle's pharmacy or your uncle's chemist shop, so long as your uncle's chemist shop is a registered entity, it counts as work experience. Now, this is different from stuff like, you worked as publicity secretary of LSS or Law Student Society or something. That's not really work experience. Rather, you put that under a separate block called extracurriculars, right? Or extracurricular experience. You understand what I'm saying? So just to clarify, work experience are like jobs, right? Extracurriculars are like associations, clubs, and those kind of things that aren't really jobs, but like they're like experience that you gain. Both of them are valid, but they always want you to separate the two. Is that clear? Any questions? Any questions so far? Any questions online so far? Do we have any questions online so far? Okay, so if you're online and you're watching and there's a problem, please let us know. Everything seems really quiet. I'm concerned that like, are they fine? Everything is going fine streaming. Okay, that's cool. It's good. So same process with work experience or extracurriculars. You have the date, you have the location, you have the institution of the organization, and you have your title. Now, note on title. You actually have a lot of leeway on what this title can be, so long as you have it cleared with the organization. So let's say you were working in your uncle. So if you say you did an internship with KPMG, for example, KPMG would have like decent sounding titles for the job roles, right? Like, so maybe like it's like a business analyst intern or like an advisory intern or something. That sounds pretty professional. But it's for like your uncle's chemist where you were cleaner, cashier, stockist, general busybody, that kind of thing, right? Like there's no customer relations, accountants, cash collector, errand boy or girl, food collector, coffee collector, all those kind of things wrote together. Like you can't really put like, title general busybody. You understand? As your title, it's not professional. So you have a bit of leeway on what you can put as your title. You understand? So like maybe it's like, business intern or like marketing intern or something like that. The only thing is that make sure you clear this with whoever gave you that job. That like, if you get called, like, if you get a call from like BAMO or Talentmine, and they ask you what I did here, what I put on my CV was business analyst intern. But the only thing you did was to collect coffee for me, uncle, business analyst intern. That's all you need to know. Don't ask too many questions. Okay? So put that as a title, make it professional sounding. Don't lie but you are allowed to be flexible. So maintenance officer, what does that mean? It's essentially a cleaner / janitor. But you can't write janitor there, so you understand. It makes it a bit somehow. So just be flexible with the time, make it sound professional. Now let's go into the meat of this thing. So the thing is that nobody is really interested in your title or in the company. Yeah, the company that you worked in is a big indicator. Oh, you're able to get an internship with PwC. You get an internship with like Cardinal Stone. Oh, that's really cool. But what I'm more interested in is what are the things that you actually did there? You understand, right? Like you were there, what were you doing? What were the skills that you gained? What achievements did you have? You understand? So those are
So action words are things like coordinated, developed, increased, responsible. You understand? And each of these action words, denote something. Coordinated means that you manage a group. You understand what I'm saying? Manage means you manage the group, right? And increased means that you had an impact. So those action words are the words that we're looking for to insinuate that, oh, this person has got to review, this person has led the team. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So always start with one of these action words. Now, the structure is you start with the action word. The next thing is you talk about what you did, right? What you did with that word. So let's start to look at the second bullet point. Develop troubleshooting procedures for problems on machines and equipment. So talk about what you do. So in this case, the action word is what? The action word is good. Then what the person did was to what? Troubleshoot problems, procedures for problems, was to troubleshoot problems by developing troubleshooting procedures. Then the next thing, the next thing you need to add is what was the result of the thing that you did, right? So remember the structure again. The action word, the thing you did, and what was the result of the thing you did, right? Now, that result, if you can, quantify that result. You understand what I'm saying? Quantify the result if you can. People like to see numbers, right? So let's go back to this. Developed what? That's action word. The thing is troubleshooting procedures for problems on machines and equipment. The result was what? Which reduced cost of maintenance, person quantified by 30%. Okay, can you see that structure? It's super clear. Stick to that structure for every single one of your bullet points. You are fine. So let's repeat it. Action word, the thing you did, the result of the thing that you did, and then quantify if you can. Okay? Now, be very careful with quantifying. Don't just quantify for the sake of quantifying. Let your quantifying make sense. So let's say you said something like, developed coordinated a team that coordinated is the actual word, a team that released a marketing campaign that released the marketing campaign, the action of what? Releasing a marketing campaign, right? That then we're going to move on to what results. Increased awareness of the club by 50%. You understand? That sounds like it makes sense. But the person who's reading is like, okay, you developed a marketing campaign, you increased awareness by 50%. The next natural question is going to be, how do you know that awareness was increased by 50%? Is it actually a measurable quantity? You understand my point? In the case of this development troubleshooting procedures, it reduces the cost of maintenance by 30%. It's easy to quantify that because all you need to do is say, oh, before these troubleshooting procedures, we used to spend 100 naira every month to fix machines. After the troubleshooting procedures, we spend 50 naira. Everybody, it makes sense that you can quantify that kind of stuff, right? So keep that in mind. And whenever you're quantifying, let it be quantities that it makes sense that you should quantify. It makes sense. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Cool. So let's look at this on the second example. The action word here is what? Words in a team, right? That's more than a word, or like the kind of root there. Work in a team of six maintenance officers to identify mechanical faults and propose solutions which improve machine efficiency by over 60%. So you can see the same pattern there. Action word, activity, results, okay. So action word, activity, result, 25. Alright? And that's the same with all the three of them. Now, as I said, I'll give you those lists of action words. What action words kind of tell you a specific skill set. So you're looking for things like leadership, teamwork, and those are some of the insinuated in the action words that we're using. Alright? So it's the same thing with the second bullet point, right? This person with the date, the location, this is the person's occupation, business support officer, responsible for basic bookkeeping and accounting. So responsible is the action word. What is the person do? Basic company bookkeeping and accounting. And then what was the quantification? What do you bookkeep and accounting? I bookkept and accounted for over 1.2 million in annual revenue. This brings me to an interesting point. The audience that's reading this book, especially if you are sending it to this international internship, is an international audience. So try and put it in numbers. Don't let them have to Google that the entire to $9 is 360. Make life easier, just put it in brackets, you understand? So in brackets or something like that. Usually if you do it in dollars, everybody knows dollars. Everybody knows dollars. So you don't say you need to do it in like pounds for these people or dollars for someone else. Okay? Cool. And it's the same thing. So note, you don't have to quantify everything, as I said. Some things just can't be quantified, but you can still mention the result. It helps if you can, but it's not a negative if you don't. Okay? So it's quite the same pattern for like work experience, follow the same pattern for extracurricular experience and all that. So the common question that people ask is, do you have any questions?
Yeah, we have one.
Okay, cool. Do you have any questions in the class before? So someone
Tem assim dentro sistema. I just something to it.
Okay, cool. So Dede is asking, if you work in a global NGO that has an office in your school, registered with CAC, do you classify it as work experience or extracurricular? It's work experience. So it's an actual organization that's registered, you can count it as work experience. Sorry? You are going to ask that question, okay. All right. Just check with them that it's clear. Any other questions? Yes, sorry, name. Name, sorry. Femi, okay, yeah, cool. If you worked with Talentmine, that's, thank you, I'm flattered. That's probably going to be under other information. Okay, and I'll let you know about that. Yeah. Toby, yeah, sure. Yes. Yes. So Toby's question is, say you did a course and the course needs you to do some additional work like an appraisal or like a project or something like that, right? That's actually under education. Feel free to add it under education as well. You just write it there, like, you know, executed, appraisal of blah, 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 blah. You know, the same process, you know, action word, activity, results, quantify, okay? But put it under education because it's more aligned with education. Yes?
Okay, my name is
Matthew Dede. Matthew Segede. Osagede. Okay, Matthew, yeah. Yes. 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 Yes, you can put that under work experience, yeah. Just like, so anything that's like work for like a company or an organization, it's work experience. You can put it as work experience. Anything that's like, oh, school club, the thing was registered with a school, but it's not really a company. It's an organization, but it's like extracurricular experience, right? Yes. What's Oladaya, yeah? That's what he asked. So Oladaya's question is like, where does trainings go? Trainings go under other information. We'll get to that. Sorry, I forgot your name. Toby. Yes, Toby. Those are Toby. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Toby, yeah, your question. Working in a church, okay. So Toby's question is about how about working in a church? If it's a church, work experience. If it's a school fellowship, extracurricular. Yeah, if it's, yeah, so, but that's the differential. If it's a church, it's work experience, it's a registered organization. If it's, okay, that's cool. If it's a fellowship, it's a registered school organization, or not an entity. That's extracurricular. Yes, Toby, another question. If you're holding a position in the university itself.
Not working, I mean, maybe like you're president of a hostel or
President of a hostel. You did work, like it was conk. If you feel like you did, it was, at that point, like discretion. You can put it on that work experience, I guess that's fine, right? Like, but the question is like, in that case, you're working for the school, kind of. So the school is like a registered entity, it's not like a club. So yeah, you can put it on that work experience. You had a question? Yes. Sorry, what's your name? Sorry? Rihanna, okay. If you're working for your department. So what do you mean by working for your department? Like yeah, so the thing is that, are you employed by the department or you are working in a departmental association? So if it's a departmental association, you are working for the departmental association. It's an extracurricular activity. If it's like you were employed by the Department of Food Science and Technology to do something, even though you're a student, something, that is work experience. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody had, okay, yes, Toby. Okay. Within 1 year. So Toby's question is, what if your work was just for like a 3-month internship or something like that, right? January to December. Suleiman, can you scroll down for me? Very simple. Scroll down. No, scroll up, sorry. Yeah, very simple. So you can see here I put January. In fact, this is very similar to this. This was January 08 to March 08. You understand what I'm saying? So you can put that. But the thing is that consistency is key because that's another sign of attention to detail. So let's say there was a situation where you did just 3 months of work and you had to put the month. Because of space, you can always use the 3-letter coding for months, like JAN or MAR. That's perfectly acceptable. But if you do that on one, even if the other one was like a 3-year stint, for the sake of consistency, put the month for those ones as well. So maybe it's like SEP 2007 to Jan 2014 or something like that, right? Yes. Koye Sola. Kiye Sola, okay. Yes. Yes. So Kiye Sola's question is, what if you are working with the church, which we said was work experience, but you're doing it in the school? So essentially, you're working with the fellowship version of your church. Like the students' fellowship of the church. Yeah, the school church. I used to like school chapel. There's a difference between the school chapel and a school fellowship. Not a fellowship. The church run by the university. Yeah, so if it's a church run by the university and you're working there, that in itself, you can say work experience if you want to. Like at that point, it's like, you know, it can go either way. That's fine. Yeah. Olumide. Yeah. I can't hear you. Yes. There's a work study program going on in Unilag, yeah, sure. And what? It's in the university, yeah. That's work experience. So something like a work study. So let me ask questions like work study programs. Is that work experience? But like the work is in the university. Yes, it's work experience because you are working for the university. That counts. The university is an organization. It's a registered organization. So that counts as work experience. Yes. Idris, yeah. So Idris's question is like, is it compulsory for the dates to be on the left side? It doesn't really matter. So long as like the date is there. It can be on the left, it can be on the right. People use different formats, okay? just to clarify, this isn't the only format that you can use. The only things that should stay consistent are your name, address, phone number, email, they are there, and you have your education, work experience, and all these bullets. And then everything is always in reverse chronological order. And the fonts, those are the only constants. You can put your address on the side, you can put it on the other side, you can make this one, you know, bold but no underline, you can maybe underline but not bolded. All those kind of formatting changes can be different, they're flexible. But just make sure it's something that looks neat and that all your lines, your edges are aligned. So for example, you find people who you write a CV and this one will be entering to the left. This one will be further out like this. So make sure everything aligns. You see this is all aligned. This, the Obafemi, the O on the Obafemi, the M on the maintenance officer, it's all aligned. The bullets, they're all aligned. You understand what I'm saying? So make sure that that alignment is key. Because it needs to be neat. Yeah. Sorry, what's your name? Samuel, okay. On the what? Remote job, okay. Yeah, yeah. So Sam's question is, assuming you were working like a remote internship or remote job for a company, you're not fully employed, but you're like a contract worker, right? It's work experience. Yes. Divine favor, yeah. Sorry? Yeah. Yeah. And you've what? Yes. Yes. You're writing jargon. Yeah. So like, don't make it more than a page. So Divine Favor's question is like, you've worked for like 4 or 5 companies. They're all really amazing companies. You've done, and then you've done, in addition to that, you've done so many other amazing things, right? That if you, but yeah, other things as well that you want to add to your CV. That like if you put everything together, like you're so amazing, your CV will be running into like 5 pages. Like you've started a company that you quoted, was quoted on the stock exchange. You know, you discovered a new element. You know, you've been given a Nobel Prize. All those other things. Now, the honest truth is that, like, for people at your level, it's unlikely you would ever have a CV that needs to extend to more than 2 pages. It's very unlikely. Instead, focus on, like, you need to just focus and be like, what are the work experience is the most important thing that they're going to look at, right? At the same level, right? You did KPMG, McKinsey, Bain, and PwC. If you had to pick 3, who would you pick? You know the answer yourself. You know it's going to be McKinsey, Bain, and one of other PwC or KPMG. You know that that's the answer, right? Like, if you want to be honest with yourself. So it kind of forces you to sort of say, these are the very best parts of my CV, and those are the only things that I'm going to put down. You understand what I'm saying, right? And then, if you feel that these other things are important, like super important, you can just write like super short bullet points under your other info. That's what other information is for. Other information is like, well, I have also done like a lot of amazing things that I don't want to expand on in the main sections of education or work experience, but I'll just like hint it here. I'll just drop it here because I want to make sure that you know about that. You understand what I'm saying? Any other questions? Yes, Idris. What? There's a question here. Okay, cool. Idris, yeah. Sorry? For references, yeah. We'll get to that. We haven't gotten there yet. Yeah, we'll get to references. So Dede is asking, independently planned projects, events, etc. can be classified as what? So if it's independently planned projects, so it's like projects that you did in a group or something like that, but it's not for like a registered entity or a company. It's extracurricular or volunteer experience or extracurricular experience, right? So that's the thing. If it's like you started a company and your company was registered, you can put that as work experience because it's a registered entity. If it's not registered but you were running it, it's like extracurricular. It's not a registered entity. It's not. If it's not registered, technically it's not a company. Legally, it's not. So that's the thing. So it's those what about logistics volunteers, protocol volunteers for companies in your school for specific events? You can put that as work experience. So long as the person that you're working for is a registered entity, it counts for as work experience. So Taya is asking, is it wise to reduce the margins on the CV to accommodate more content? It's the Mago man. So Taya's question is, you can see the margins of the CV here. You have so much content, so many amazing things, but it's spilling over into like 3 pages. Can you do a bit of mago and reduce the margins on the sides to accommodate more? The answer is yes, but up to a point. So if you've sort of like switched the margins to the point that your W in work experience is literally touching the edge of the page, right? No, that doesn't make it. You have no margin left. It's going to make your work look scruffy and messy. Don't do that. Instead, look at the content and ask the content that like, is this content saying I am amazing, right? Like, you will find that for the most part, all the content you put in there, you just put in there because you did it. It doesn't necessarily say that you're amazing. So if you have like 5 amazing things, if you tell yourself I'm only going to put 3, it will force you to pick the 3 most amazing things. You understand what I'm saying? So the person reading it isn't going to be like, oh, if he reads 5 things, 3 of them are amazing and 2 are like okay amazing, he's going to be like, oh, okay, this guy has done like okay amazing things. But if it's like only 3 amazing things, it's like, wow, this person has only ever done amazing things in their entire life. They've never done anything that's okay amazing, right? Like, so just restrict the quantity. Just always go for quality rather than quantity. And that's why it's a good rule of thumb to say, I'm going to stick to 1 page, but that 1 page is going to be packed with the most amazing thing. So that once the person sees that 1 page, I'm like this awesome person. Okay? Scroll down. Let's go down. Any other questions? Any other questions online? Okay, cool. The next thing you need to write here, most people add are like skills. Now, a lot of people vary, but this is my position on skills, right? Don't write stuff like outstanding analytical and problem-solving skills, fantastic interpersonal and leadership skills. These are what I like to call fluff, right? You shouldn't need to tell me that you have a great analytical or problem-solving skills. I'll figure that out on my own during the interview. You shouldn't need to tell me that you have excellent oral and written communication skills. Your written communication skills, I will figure that out on your cover letter. On your oral, I will figure that out at the interview. You shouldn't need to tell me that you're able to work. You shouldn't need to outrightly tell me I have the ability to work in a team. I won't believe you. Tell me that, insinuate that in the content of your work experience, where you told me that these are the things that I actually did in a team. You understand what I'm saying? So for skills, don't write all this fluff stuff, self-motivated and target-oriented. It's fluff, it adds no value. Instead, what you should be putting here should be core technical skills. So let's say you learned how to use a software in finance. Let's say you know how to use a Bloomberg machine, for example. Now that's a skill. So put that there, like, you know, ability to use Bloomberg terminals or something. Or like you know how to use like CapIQ to find it for like software and like technical skills that pertain to the job. That like if they see it, they're like, oh, this person already knows how to do this thing. Fantastic. Hot cake. Or like, okay, no. Or like say something like financial modeling skills, you know, ability to build financial models. You get it? That's a crucial skill, right? So those are the kind of skills that you need to put in here. Not fluff stuff like, oh, I can lead a team. Yeah, show me that you actually did that stuff. All right? Any questions?
Yes.
Questions? Yes, Emeka.
So I want to ask a question.
Yes.
Which I have encountered personally.
Okay.
So you're saying you should pick out like the very important things, like the very less important things you've done, and put like the great things you've done.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been in a situation where I went for an interview. I did not put in something I did, which I thought it wasn't so relevant. The very first, and I was very unlucky. The person interviewing me was the person that he has interviewed me before. Like I reapplied for a role, and
Okay.
the person interviewing me again.
Mm-hmm.
The person says, oh, I remember this CV.
Mm-hmm.
I remember all about this. So what did you do with your life in the past 1 year?
Okay.
And I was thrown aback. Like, I didn't know how to like. So it just paused the whole interview for me.
Okay.
And I wasn't able to make it through because I was like, why was it the same person? One and two. That was the very first thing. He said, I remember you, Chemeka, and these are all the things you have. I remember all of this. So what did you do within last year, last time we spoke, and now? And you just threw me off balance. I was like, and that was just it for me.
Okay. So Chiamaka's, I said Chiamaka.
Just call me Emeka.
Emeka's question, sorry, was went for an interview, presented exactly the same CV that he had presented the year before to apply for the job. Person looked at it doing the interview, so I remember this CV. First question of why was it the same person? My answer to that is I do not know.
Yeah, exactly.
That's divine intervention. I cannot answer that. God knows best. Exactly. Okay. Okay, fine. The second question is like in that situation, you know, the guy asked him like, well, your CV looks exactly the same as the last time you applied. What have you done in the last 1 year? Rule of thumb: if you're applying for the same job, don't apply with the same CV. It's like it essentially signals from last year to this year, you did nothing. That's essentially what it means. But the person wants to know that like, well, something has changed about you from the last time I spoke with you. That like, oh, now you're a very interesting person, right? You understand my point? So I think the pitfall in that was to submitting exactly the same CV that you did the last time. Yeah. So the thing is that, so the question is that, had you done anything interesting from the previous year to this year? If the answer was no, well, I mean, yeah, the guy's benchmark was I want to select somebody who had done something interesting from the last time. In your own case, the answer was you hadn't, so there's nothing you can do about that, right? But the question is that if you had done something, you should have put that in the CD, right? You should. So like, I don't know if that answers your question, basically. Yeah, cool. Any other question? Scroll down. So then the final piece of the, what's it called? CV is other information. Yes, Olumide. Yes. No, no, because this is so Olumide's question is that under skills, can you add stuff like proficient in Microsoft Word, Excel, and all those things? My answer is, it doesn't really add value because in 2018, I expect that the average human being who has attended the university and graduated should know how to use Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, and at least something in Excel. That's my assumption. Like you telling me that you do that doesn't add any value because I'm expecting that you already know how to do that. You understand my point, right? I don't know if you get my point. Yes, Sambo, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So Samuel's question is like, during an interview, the interviewer is looking at some certain items on the interview and is asking you to walk you through those things. But like, you know that like, you've done them, you just touched them, but then you started shifting your attention to something else. Can you tell him that? Yes, of course. Feel free to tell him that. Like, yeah, I mean, I've been working with PHP for some time. I decided to move into like Python or something else for X and Y reasons. That's perfectly acceptable. Yeah. Any other questions? Yes. Sorry, I forgot your name. Oladaya, yeah. Bullets. So Oladaya's question is that under each item, is there a maximum number of bullets? I usually say the max is 5. The sweet spot is 3 and 4. I usually try to keep it to 3, minimum of 3. Usually try to do 3 or 4. If you really have to, take it to 5. I wouldn't say take it to 5, but if you absolutely have to, take it to 5. But just keep it between 3 and 4. 3 or 4, sorry. Yeah. So Taya is asking, how relevant are one's articles and publications which relate to the position being applied for? So stuff like you publish articles or you publish publications on your own, all those things should be under other information, right? So which brings me back to other info. So under other information is like stuff that you kind of want to talk about, but you didn't put them under. They were not like super amazing enough for them to warrant their own 3 or 4 bullet items under experience or under education, right? So you can add them under other information, right? So like in this case, the person he was chairman of the debate committee at SWEP or whatever, right? Or he was a member of IEEE and the Society of Engineers, right? So like it's not heavy stuff, but like it's kind of important. So you put it under other information. Stuff like your publications, like, you know, publish so and so, all those things are under other information, right? Yes.
John.
Yeah, John.
So you said you couldn't add computer, Microsoft,
Yeah. Yeah.
but this, for instance, now, a job, for instance, I have so many layers of proficiency. Very easy. So if I'm very advanced in Excel, right?
Yeah.
And the job needs someone that carries skill in Excel.
Yeah.
I think that do like an edge.
So John's question is, what if I'm like a super advanced user? I'm an advanced user of Excel. Shouldn't I put that under, you know, skills, right? At that point, you're not saying advanced proficiency in Excel. You're mentioning those advanced things that you can do yourself. Or proficient in, you know, macros, pivot tables. So that, if you're telling me about macros and pivot tables, oh yeah, now I know that you're proficient, you're an advanced user of Excel. But like, if you're telling me advanced user of Excel, that's useless information to me, right? So if you're truly advanced, what you will be putting under skills would be proficient in developing macros and using pivot tables in Excel. The skill is not using Excel. The skill is in developing macros and pivot tables, for example. So that's what. Audio is back? Okay. So back to your question about like line spacing and font sizes. So if it looks squeezed together, you know this doesn't work, increase it to 1.5. It doesn't mean you have to stay on one page. Like if you've tried everything and it spills into like slightly over a page or 1.5 pages, nobody's going to kill you, you understand? People will take that. But just make sure that the actual content there is solid content that warrants going to 1.5 pages, right? So line spacing, yeah, try to stay to 1.5. Font sizes, 11 is usually pretty good, okay? By the time you can see that you're going to like 10, 9, if you look at it, this thing is looking tiny, I'm going to need a microscope to read this. Then you know you're off. You can increase and figure out how to fix things in. Yes? Yeah. So Samuel, right? So Samuel's question is, can you include some of your social media accounts? The answer is yes, so long as they're professional social media pages. So like, not like your Twitter account or your Facebook page or anything like that. Your LinkedIn page, perfectly fine. If you're a developer, your GitHub repo, that's perfectly fine as well, right? But the thing is that like your LinkedIn page is actually more or less like a CV, so it's almost like the. But if you really want to, you can put it there. It's fine. Nobody's gonna crucify you for not doing that. Anything else? Yes, Toby. Yes. Extracurricular. Yes. What do you mean extracurricular experience or extracurricular activities? You've not allowed me to finish. I'm not done yet. Yeah. Oh, where? Oh, okay. So is your question, where do I put this extracurricular experience that are not work experience? Okay. So Tommy's question is, if I actually have extracurriculars that are not work experience, but I want to put them in, where do I put them on the CV? The answer is after work experience. So it would be education, work experience, extracurricular or volunteer experience, and then skills, okay? But the two top things you need to start with, education, work experience, everything comes after those two. Yes, John, yeah. Yeah. If you have a what?
Blog.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, and the content basically is around finance.
Yeah, I get your question. You have a web blog, you have a blog. Where do you put it on a CV? Other information.
The link.
Yes, you can put like, oh, right, blogging at www/so and so. So John, right? John's question is like, if you have the blog, where would you put that? That's not a profile. So the thing is that the LinkedIn account is your profile, is your work profile. So you can put that under like the email address and all that stuff. But something like your blog is like your content. So that you would put under your content, that you would put under other information. Yes, John.
Then if you've gone for like office visits to companies in the financial industry.
Don't add it, doesn't add anything. So John is asking if you've gone on office visits to companies in the financial industry, it adds nothing to your CV. That's not amazing. There's nothing. Oh, I went to Nigerian Stock Exchange. Okay. All right, cool. What did you do there? Oh, I looked around. Oh, fantastic. You could have done that on the internet for free. Like, you didn't need to have left your house. You understand? That's not, don't add that. Has no value. Yes. Kia Sola, yes.
Because some companies they ask for like they have bridge requirements.
Yes.
Also nights for airline companies.
Yeah.
For example, so can we put our age or height?
So Kia Sola's question is, because some companies ask for like personal information like age or height, or can you add that in the CV? Only add it if it's clear that the company needs that information. So the other thing is that don't give information that somebody did not ask for. You understand? You know, there's a policy, like, there used to be a policy in the American Army called don't ask, don't tell. So if you are gay, don't tell me. I'm not going to ask you. And you don't tell me. But if you volunteer that information and tell me, you understand, there will be consequences. You understand? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. It's like, okay, don't steal. But I also have don't ask, don't tell. So if you steal and you do not tell me that you stole, everything is fine. I'm not going to ask you if you stole. You understand? So don't volunteer information that nobody asks for. Almost all international firms, even Nigerian firms for the most part, they're not going to ask you, I mean, at this stage, they're not going to ask you for your age or anything like that. If they do, they will ask you on like the application form and then they will clean out from there. But like for a lot of international, it's actually illegal to not hire people based on their age, sex, sexual orientation, religion, all those kind of things. So don't volunteer that information. So don't write it there. I am a gay, Buddhist, 50-year-old man looking for a job that usually hires 25-year-olds. You understand? Don't volunteer that information. All right. Yes.
Okay, I just want to clarify. Is the CV the same thing
Matthew.
as the resume?
Yes, the CV. No, so Matthew's question is the CV the same thing as the resume? For the purposes of this, like, you don't need to go into, that's like information that's useless, doesn't help you at all. CVs essentially are actually much longer quantities, okay, much longer, what do they call it, much longer, records of your work experience. So that's like all the articles you've written, everything. So CVs can move into like, 10 pages, 15 pages, all those kind of things. A resume is just like a summary, essentially. But like for people at your stage or for most industries or jobs, it's essentially the same thing, right? Yeah. Any other questions? Yes. Adiola, yeah.
So like last month,
yeah.
I and through an investment society, so went for a training
Okay.
at ARN
Yeah.
on valuation.
Yes. Other information.
Okay.
Yes. So trainings and stuff like that, other information. Yeah. That are applicable. Other information. And then you wrap it up with extracurricular activities. So also be careful with the kind of stuff you write on extra activities. So as I said, everything should be pointing to the fact that you're amazing and you're interesting, right? Like, so don't write stuff like extracurricular activities, singing, dancing, networking. It doesn't add any value. Like, those are not activities, right? So like, but it's more interesting if you say, dancing salsa, right? Like, oh, okay, that's cool. You dance salsa, like dancing, like the foxtrot, like classical opera singing. That's your hobby. Like, okay, that's interesting. That's weird. But not like, oh, singing. Wee. So those are the kind of things that you put under the extracurricular activities. Okay? And I think we're done. So let's just skip to the cover letter. Let's just do that really quickly. It's not going to take that much time, and I'm done. So any questions for the CVs? Yes. Ogechi. Yes. Yeah. Assume you have what? 2 email addresses. So Ogechi's question is like, what would you do if you used one email address to apply and one email address for your CV? My answer to that question is don't even do it in the first place. Like, why create that kind of confusion for yourself? Just like choose one email address that you use for all your applications. There's no need for that kind of confusion, and make that consistent. Okay. Any other question? Yes, Toby, John. Yes. So when it comes to references, most times just put like references upon request, right? References usually just take up space that nobody looks at. I personally feel like references are the biggest pile of bullshit ever. Ask me, what are you saying? Okay, I'm telling you, you go and bring me people who will tell me about yourself, and I will use that information. You're not dumb now. You're going to go and find people who will say good things about you. You understand my point? So what's the point, right? But that's just my personal view. When it comes to references, just write like references upon request. Okay? Yes. What if you what? Yes. So Idris's question is, what if you hyperlink the references? What do you mean by the references? So when we talk about references refers to people who can vouch for you. Is that what you're talking about? So I have so and so certificates. This is where you can go and view it. No, nobody does that on CVs. Usually, if they want to do their due diligence, they will ask for those things later after they've selected. You don't need to send it to them. They don't care at that point. Yes. So what? Trainings, yeah. Under other information, yeah. It's a training, other information, yeah. It's not a degree, it's not work experience, it's just a training, it's other information. Yes.
It's a training where I learned very crucial skills in the job.
Yeah.
How do I point those skills?
So if it's the skills that you can actively do, put it under skills. And then you can also put the training under other information. So if it's like you went for a training that taught you how to use pivot tables and macros, right? Now you have gained the skill of pivot tables and macros, put it under skills. You understand what I'm saying? And then decide if you want to, whether or not to put it under the training. Nobody cares about the training. We only care about the skills. It's just a Nigerian mentality to care about like, oh, I have this certificate, I have that certificate, I have this training, I have that training. Sensible people don't give a shit about like the trainings that you've gone for. The important thing is like, can you do the job? So if I have 2 people, One has gone for all the trainings in the world on macros and pivot table, on building financial models. But if I give him a financial model, he doesn't know how to do it. And the other person never went for a training in his life. I read everything on YouTube, but he can build me a financial model. I only care about the person who can get the job done, okay? So don't get wrapped up in like, oh, I've gone for all these trainings. Nobody gives a rat's ass, right? Like, so the important thing is that do I have those skills? Then I put them on the skills. Okay? Let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back to continue on the cover letter. How is the sound? How is the sound? They don't seem. Are you sure everything is going fine in those places? Because. Are you double checking that everything is going fine in those other places?
It's going fine, fantastic.
Are you serious? Okay. Maybe because I'm just used to always hearing complaints about the whole thing. And it's weird that they don't have anything. Okay, can we start? All right, let's go. Are you guys ready? I think maybe another 30 minutes, we're done. Are you ready? You're live? Okay. So, in addition to your CV, sometimes you might be asked to write like, hello, cool. You have a question? Yes, Olumide, right? Olumide. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Polished, yeah. What do you mean, polished? Okay. So, Olumide's question is, what if I have an idea of a skill, but I'm not very proficient at it? But like I have an idea, Abi, still put it there. Just put it. Okay? Put it in. Worst case scenario is that you'll be asked, oh, how proficient are you in this thing? And then you come clean. Oh, I can do this, I can do that, but I'm still on my way. You understand? Sometimes you will not be asked, so it's fine. Okay? So still put it in if you have like a decent knowledge of it, even if you are not very advanced. Yes, divine favor. Good question. So divine favor's question is, what if I'm applying for a finance role, but I don't have any directly related skills in finance? Now, the luck that you have at this level is when people are hiring you into entry-level positions, they are not looking for you to know everything. They're not looking that you know how to do financial modeling, etc., etc. The vast majority of people applying for those roles might not have those skill sets. That's why we have these training programs to set you above the vast majority of people. You understand? So more often than not, from your CV, what they're interested in looking at are what we call transferable skills, okay? Can this person work hard? Can this person lead a team? Can this person communicate well? Everything else on the technical side, I can teach that, or the person is going to naturally learn it over like 2 or 3 months. But I can't teach somebody how to work hard. I can't teach somebody how to like lead a team. I can't teach somebody how to write proper English. You understand my point? So you try and find things that align with finance as much as possible, but so long as you're emphasizing those important things from the keywords, action words that I spoke about, you should be fine. Okay. Yes, John.
So you said employers are often at level.
Yeah.
People that have the main skills, right?
Yeah.
But then
They can be a bit flexible. Yeah, but go on, yeah.
But then, you put that as a lot. But the truth is, I don't know, they say that a lot, right? But when you want to start actually recruiting,
Yeah.
and those of us who actually know these stuff
Yeah.
and have an advantage over others.
Yes.
So,
So your question is, yes, people may say that like, well, you don't need those skills, but having those skills gives a clear advantage, right? Yes, I agree with you. That's why we have classes like this. So what I'm saying is that for people who are here, right, even if you don't have directly related transferable skills, right, people will still call you for an interview. And at that point, you can share your knowledge. You understand? And at the end of this class, you will learn, we'll have classes on financial modeling, we're having classes on like valuation techniques. Those are things you can add to the skills section. So it's unlikely to finish this training and you will not have skills that you can put here to show that, oh, you have skills that are aligned with the finance industry. You understand what I'm saying? Any other question? Any questions online? All right. Yeah, we have some questions online. Ooh, we have a lot of online questions from my people. Yeah. So Data is asking, so we shouldn't put soft skills on our CV. No, don't put soft skills on your CV. Soft skills will be tested on the interview, just as I said. You know, ability to lead a team. All those soft skills. Hey guys, can I have your attention please? Thank you. All those soft skills should be sort of indicated or insinuated from your CV, right? Yeah, so Joshua, this question has been answered. So Lara is asking, is Gmail more professional than Yahoo Mail to put under your contact? There's no difference. They're both the same. It's okay. The answer is there's no difference. So Nobleman is asking, in a situation, which is a good question, in a situation where you don't really have any work experience, what should someone do? Then in that case, make sure you have what? Extracurricular and volunteer experience. Okay. If you have no experience at all, you have never done anything in school, then I'm sorry, I can't help you. Like, I mean, what am I going to say? But more often than not, you've maybe been involved in your class group or your fellowship or you know religious group or whatever. You understand? That's some activity that you've done. It's very rare to find somebody who has done absolutely nothing. So if you don't have any work experience with particular organizations, it's fine for you to trump up your extracurricular or volunteer experience. Okay, cool. So let's talk. Yes. So what's your name? Elijah. Okay. Yeah. So Elijah's question is for work experience. Does it have to relate to the role that you're applying for? The answer is yes. That's the most important one. If you don't have work experience that relates to the role, then look for work experience that emphasizes stuff like leadership and you know, that you're somebody that can get things done, basically. But like in order of importance, yeah, you can't just keep it one place. In order of importance, it should be work experience that directly relates to the work that you're doing. Then any work experience that has items that point to, like, you know, yeah, you work hard, you work in a team, you get shit done, all those kind of things. Okay? Any other questions? All right, cool. Let's go. So when it comes to the cover letter, it's a very simple thing. One thing I always like to teach you guys is structure, right? Structure. Once you know the structure of anything, you can easily figure it out. We figured out the structure of the CV now, right? The next thing is the structure of the cover letter. Okay? It's very simple. It's an introduction. That's who you are. Right? Why you're interested in the role, why you're interested in the company, and why you. It's 4 things. Who you are, it's the introduction. Why you're interested in the company, in the role, that's the job. Why you're interested in that company, right? And why you. That's why you are the best candidate for that role. All right? So those are the 4 items you need to make sure you touch in a cover letter. So it's the introduction, why you're interested in the role, why you're interested in the company, and why you. That's why you should be the person selected. Do you understand what I'm saying? So once you touch those 4 things in a cover letter, you're good. So the number of words that you use to touch those things varies based on the application. You get my points, right? Some people may ask you to write 250 words, 300 words, those kind of things. Whatever the number of words, make sure that you hit those 4 points. Okay? So let's look at this person. First point is what? Introduction. I am Okafor Bala Damilola, a highly motivated final year medical student at the University of Lagos, Nigeria. Right? And of course, you need to say what you're applying for. And I'm interested in being a spring intern in the investment banking division of Goldman Sachs. So that's your introduction. Who you are, what you're interested in. Right? So what's next on our list? What? Why are you interested in the job, right? So our friend says, I believe this internship will be a great opportunity for me to share of the widely reputed Goldman Sachs experience and ultimately launch a long-term career with Goldman. So it's explained, this is why I want the job, right? So what's next? What? Sorry? Why the company, right? Okay. Unfortunately, this was not talked about here. So this is an incomplete cover letter, right? Sorry, can you scroll down? Right. Let me see. Scroll down. Scroll up. So this is an incomplete cover letter. So the one thing that is missing here is why are you interested in Goldman Sachs? There's a cheat code or an expo for answering those questions. Do you know what a cheat code and expo is? Do you want to know what the cheat code or expo is?
Yes, please.
You people are all cheats. The cheat or expo is the answer to that question is sitting on the company's website. Right? Every company says what is amazing about them. So Goldman's will say, what makes us amazing is our focus on our people and our 12 principles, right? Bamo might say something else. All you need to do, your cheat code, you have one job. It's not hard. Go to the website, look around. What is that thing that these people keep talking about all the time? They keep saying that this is who they are all the time, right? Go back to your cover letter and say that that's the reason why you want to join them. So if the reason they say is like, oh, we like to drink milk, we like to drink milk, we like to drink milk. Even if you know that if you drink milk, your imam or your pastor has told you, if you drink milk, you will fall down and die. Even if you know you cannot drink milk, on your cover letter, I want to join your company because I need the opportunity to drink milk. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what you should put for why you want to join the company, okay? In addition to that, almost everybody who has been to this kind of program or who knows what they're talking about will write something like that. So also look for something else that you feel that a lot of people will not notice or something that personally connects you to that company, right? You understand my point? So it could be something like you met somebody who had interned at the firm before, or you had read something in the news about how amazing the company was, or the person you knew who had interned in the company before, came back and told you about their experience and you really connected with it. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how you answer the why, why the company question, right? And then the final part is why you. So on the why you section, what you're saying is, these are my skills, both soft and technical. Here you can talk fluff. These are my skills, both fluff and technical. This is why you should pick me, right? But the structure is, these are my skills. These are the things that I did to show that I have those skills. And this is why you should pick me. You understand what I'm saying? These are my skills. If you think back to first principles, one thing that we always say is that whatever you do, always back it up with what? Evidence. In the cover letter, in the CV, you were backing up your bullet points with evidence, with like, this is what happened. Evidence by these things or the quantities. The same thing happens in your cover letter as well. These are the skills that make me a great candidate. This is why you should pick me. And this is the evidence. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay. And this is the evidence of why you should pick me. Okay? So let's go with this. Sorry, okay. As an economics student, I have learned how to pay attention to detail and use often disparate pieces of information to solve complex problems. I believe these attributes, blah, 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 talks about a few other things. Let's skip that. Let's jump to, yeah. In addition, hold on. In addition, my 1-year stint as a leader in a team of 24 with the duty of offering free course tutorials and academics related counseling services to a multicultural campus association of over 1,400 members. So that's the thing that I did, right? The evidence is we did something to 1,400 members. But the question is, what's the skill that I gained? It has enabled me to better understand the dynamics of teamwork. You get my point? So the formula is, why should they pick you? The cheat code again. The answers are always on the company's website. They are telling you, we want people who show teamwork. We want people who are hardworking. We want people who can pay attention to detail. So all you need to do is pick 2 or 3 of those things and craft a story as the evidence that you have those skills and put it in your cover letter. Shikena. You are done. So this person knows that teamwork is one of the things that's important to Goldman Sachs, and has written a letter, and in the cover letter has mentioned, oh, I did this and this and this, evidenced by, I have teamwork, evidenced by this and this and this thing that I did. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's all you need to do. And then end it, summarize, end it with like a conclusion. Obviously, you have to conclude and then say, of course, don't say, with these few points of mine, I hope I've been able to convince you and not confuse you that I should be selected for an internship. Try and end it neatly, Just say something like, I believe that my experience, skills, and my interests would make me a great candidate, and I hope to hear from you, or something like that. You understand what I'm saying? Just like a nice conclusion. You all did essay writing at the end. So to recap, for a good cover letter, you need the introduction. You need what else? What? Why you're interested in the position. What else? Why you're interested in the company, right? So in the company, you could also add why you're interested in the company / the industry as well. Remember when we spoke about tell me about yourself, right? Where you talk about your interest in the industry. So for the third one, it can be why you're interested in the company and the industry too. And the last one is what? What? Why you? So why you should be the one selected? And then you have your conclusion. Once you do that, you're fine with the cover letter. Any questions? Yes, Yusuf, yeah. Sorry? So Yusuf's question is that, is it important to put your address on the cover letter? So nowadays, what they usually do is the cover letter is part of the application form. So they just ask you to paste the body of the cover letter in the application form. So nobody actually takes cover letter as a proper letter any longer. So you don't need to just work on the content that you paste in the application form. This is what they ask for. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I know, Elijah, yeah. Sorry? If what? On CV, okay. So Elijah's question is, if you apply for a job in Lagos and you stay in Osho, should you put a Lagos address? The answer is like, it depends. If you feel that the job they will never give you if you don't stay in Lagos, go ahead. But most jobs that are sensible and they're worth their salt, they won't say that, oh, this person stays in Akoka. My office is Agege, I can't give him the job. They will at least, if they see your CV has been interesting, they will at least want to talk to you and then talk through that, right? Anything else? Any questions online? No questions? Yes? So you're asking now, what's my take on CVs and cover letters having the same font? It's fine. It's okay. They can have the same fonts, they can have different fonts. More often than not, cover letters are pasted in the application form. When I say form, that's like it's almost always on online application these days. Most people paste the cover letter in an online application. You understand? So whatever font you wrote it in doesn't matter. It's not like you're printing it. Where fonts really matter is on the CVs, right? Sorry, one other thing I wanted to add on the CVs. If you're sending your CV out to somebody, right, do not, I repeat, unless they ask for it specifically, do not send it in Microsoft Word. Make sure you convert it into PDF before sending. Because if you send it as Microsoft Word and you used Verdana, it looked like a nice font on your own system. But the person doesn't have Verdana on their system. They open it and it looks like Comic Sans. Right? The person will think you wrote it in Comic Sans. But if you converted it into PDF, that problem wouldn't happen. So always, always, always convert your cover letter, your CVs into PDFs before sending. Unless the company expressly asks you, send it to me in Microsoft Word. And that rarely happens. Yes. Another question. Okay. So, Nobleman is asking, being an accounting tutor is a relevant work experience to finance. Yes. But if you're an accounting tutor, but you were doing tutorials on your own in school, that's what? Extracurricular. It's not, you were not working under a company. So don't put it as work experience. It's extracurricular experience. So he said, what about if you were a part of a team that did a research challenge? Where do you think that will fall in? Other information. Yeah, it's not enough for you to write a whole article on it. You can put it as other information. But if you notice that you don't have any other content, you only have one thing you've ever done in your life, and you need to add something else, try and find a way to put it under that would be under extracurricular experience at best. So it's like, is it a must to send in one's cover letter with a CV? How you send in cover letter or CV, there are various things. It's always dependent on the employer. They will tell you how they want to receive this information. The important thing is know how to create the information. How they want to receive it, they will let you know. Any other questions? Yes, John. Yeah. 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 So John's question is, if someone asks you to send them a CV via email, what should be the content of the email? Your cover letter, right? So try and like a short cover letter, right? And just say, this is who I am, blah, 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 and attach this my CV. So the person at a glance can say, oh, this person is interesting, let me look at the CV. But if it's somebody that just says, just send me your CV, I want to forward it to somebody, you understand my point? You can just send them the CV alone. But if it's like you're applying directly, maybe like a cold application, and you're sending it in, put your cover letter in the body, or a condensed form of your cover letter, maybe like Max, maybe like five lines, 5 sentences, and then attach the CV in. Any other question? Yes. Yeah. Sorry? Idara, okay. Okay. So Idara's question is like, can I start my cover letter with something striking about me? The answer is no. Stick to the structure. Start your cover letter with the introduction. But that thing that's striking about you, make sure it is written in what? Why you. Very good. The thing is that people will read the cover letter, right? They will read it. That's why they usually give you a maximum word limit. It's like, okay, maximum of 250 words. So it's a volume that like the person can easily read or digest. Okay? Any other question? Sunan, any question online? No question online? No questions here? So are we clear on CVs and we're clear on cover letters? So I think the next assignment is like everybody needs to write, using this information, should then write their own CV and cover letter, and then that's going to be reviewed, okay? The other things you need to watch out for: grammatical errors, spelling errors. Always do spell checks on your cover letter and CV, right? And always give it to other people to review for you. Many times if you've looked at the same thing 3-4 times, right, it's difficult to spot errors. But if you give it to someone else to read, they will find those kind of errors that you didn't spot, okay? Yes. Sorry. Oh, yeah. So the question is, what if I use American English or British English? Both of them are acceptable. The important thing is consistency. So if you start with, so don't spell color with COLOR in one part of your CV or cover letter, and then you're spelling what else? Favor with F. And you're spelling favor with, well, okay, yeah. You're spelling favor with FAVOUR. You understand what I'm saying? Or FAVOUR. Consistency is what's important, okay? But both are either acceptable. Any other questions? Are we good? All right, all the best, guys. It was nice having you around. Enjoy the rest of the classes. See you again next time.
It's working? Working. Okay. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Please, can you hear me very well at the back? Can you hear me? Okay. Welcome to my class. It's been a very long day. It was raining, it was wet and all of that. I understand that we had to start the class late. So I'll be taking you through effective business communication. That's what I call it. Effective business communication, right? So I was given a topic, Outlook as a pro, what as a pro, then how to speak very well, to an audience. But I thought maybe that's not the best way to call it, right? The best name to give it is, effective business communication, because the things I'll be showing you are things that you will use. Maybe you get an internship position, for instance, now, or you get a job, a placement. Those are the things that will help you communicate very well in your duties. So first of all, the way I like to do things is, let us get to know ourselves. But then it's been a long day. I'm not sure that's going to work now, right? If we start, if I ask you to tell me who you are now, it's going to take, a lot of our time. So I'll just do my part. I'll tell you who I am, and then I will, because I know you guys know yourself fairly well anyway, so let's not bother ourselves about that. The good thing is, 4 years ago, I was part of this program 4 years ago. Just so you know, I was part of the refinery, in 2014. So then I think we were the second set of people that passed through the refinery. And I didn't go into banking. I went into fast-moving consumer goods, FMCG, as we call it. So currently, I work for Procter & Gamble Nigeria as a brand operations manager. Who knows Procter & Gamble Nigeria? Ah, okay. So we are popular. My name is Rakib. You can call me Rakib. The full name is Adiwola Rakib. I finished from IFE in 2014. Who are the great IFE? So we always start. It's fine. It's just okay. Thank you. So, of course, I would like to get straight, just to, sorry, your audio. I would like to move fast because it's a lot of things that I'm supposed to cover today. It's a lot of things, right? If we were to, these are things that require like a whole week to each of the topics, right? Require extensive time, to learn the nitty-gritty of what you're supposed to know. But then I will try as much as possible to just fast track it to see what best we can do, be as practical as possible, and then, of course, I'll take it through, we'll work together. If at any point in time there's something I say you don't get, or you need some clarification, please just, signify, and then let me know whatever you want to say. I will call you, we'll take the class together. I think we should start with Outlook, because this is part of the whole job I'm supposed to do here today. Outlook like a pro. That's like the easiest thing I'm supposed to do here today. Please, is it fine? Just let me know in case there's any issue. So who knows what Outlook is? Yeah? Okay, an office? Okay. Okay, so can you repeat that?
I said it's basically Microsoft Office 365
Okay, so you said something. I said it's part of the Microsoft Office 365 suite or application that manages your email, right? But then that's a very good answer. But the Outlook is way much more than that. It's more than just an email app, right? It's way more, and then I'll take you through. First of all, the sound here, we don't have sound. I have a couple of videos I'm supposed to show you just to, get the whole juice flowing. But then, I don't know how we're going to do it now. Who can hear me? So that means it's not going to, I have and someone has a speaker. Ah, perfect. Please, who is that? Who is that person? A speaker? Anybody with a speaker? Oh, perfect. Okay, so you know, they're always very useful. They come in very handy. With this to the USB cord and this to the jack. Thanks. Please just come. And then I think it goes here. Oh.
It's kind of down right now. Well, it has to charge for a while.
So the battery is low?
Yeah, battery is low. Yeah, it will come up when you increase the volume. It's come up at some point.
Like the lights will change or something? Okay, so while we're waiting for the video or the audio to, you know, to work, let me just quickly tell you what Outlook is about. So like you said, Outlook is what you use to manage your emails. Again, Outlook is not what you use to send emails. It's not Outlook on its own. Oh, you cannot hear me. Sorry, please, if you cannot hear me, just let me know. So that, because the idea is that we all get to benefit from this class. So if anybody cannot hear me, just, you know, signify so I know how to project my voice very well. And again, I need all of us to just, you know, maintain the decorum. So again, Outlook is, of course, manage your emails. So from when you send your emails, from your inbox to keeping your inbox very clean, to managing what people you want to get in emails from, all of that, Outlook does that for you, right? And it does it very perfectly well. And again, the other thing Outlook does is manage your calendar very well. So from your appointments to your calendar to your meetings, so Outlook helps you to, you know, when you want to send invites for a meeting, Outlook does that for you. And it also manages very well. I'll show you all of that so that we all get to understand exactly how it works. And I understand that we all have our laptops here. So I'll just show you some of the things that, and then manage your contact. The way you have your contact app on your phone, you know, you use Google Contact, for instance. Now Outlook does all of that for you on your corporate system, on your, you know, on a corporate level. And then your tasks. So what are the things you need to do today? You understand? Just, you know, I need to do this kind of thing. I need to write this, I need to submit this project. I need to finish on this task. Outlook does that for you. Okay. Yeah, I can see the one blue light blinking. No, it's not loud enough. I need it louder. Okay. Let's keep it.
2 years ago,
okay.
I got one of those spam emails. And it actually got in the spam folder, not I got out, but it's kind of in my inbox. And it's from a guy called Solomon Odonka. I know. One of us said, hello, James Beach. I think you think this is a proposal I want to share with Solomon. And I found this kind of problem on the inbox. I think that's why I was doing my phone, but it's pretty silly this. All I can do is I can always wanted to do. And I said, Solomon, you'll be on the street. And the game was afoot. He said, dear James Beach, we shall be shipping gold to you. You will earn 10% of any gold you distribute. So I knew I was being a bit professional. I said, how much does it worth? He said, it was a smaller quantity. I was like, oh. And then he said, of 25 kilograms. So attaches here on your side of the picture. Assistants run the numbers as much as possible. There's also no one that tried to take your heartstrings. This is it, Solomon. He said, I will be so much happy if the deal goes well because I'm going to go with commission as well. And I said, that's amazing. What are you going to spend your cuts on? And he said, on real estate, what about you? I thought about it for a long time. I said, why? It's gone. No, I found it all wrong. Also, you can talk to it. You can take them. Have you ever done that? Fine. Starts with how sweet, I didn't know what to say. I said, bonsoir, my golden nugget. Bonsoir. I said, how come the sounds been going for like weeks? So yeah, it's the greatest experience of my life. But I had to knock it on the head. I was thinking about how to know. Friends were selling for cake, so I applied for cake. I was like, I can't, I expect you, that's the goal. Yeah. So I figured I had to knock it on the head. I think to a ridiculous conclusion. So I thought I can plot to the plan. I said, look, Solomon, I'm concerned about security. When we know each other, we choose the code. Legally. I said, Solomon, I said, my it's code. We need to use your further correspondence. Lawyer. Done better. Bank, Queen Mary. Legal, physical, hands, documents, Jenkins, Western Union. Guys, a giant funny list. I knew these were words they use, right? I said, he's going to kick that, no further correspondence. I didn't hear back, I thought I've gone too far. I've gone far, so I had to backpedal a little bit. I said, look, Solomon, is the deal still on? Because you have to be consistent. I didn't get anyone out from him. He said, this is how I'm trying, blah, 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 blah. I said, dude, yeah, it's courage. What followed is the very thing I have. I'm not joking, this is what I'm trying to learn. The business is on. And I'm trying to raise a balance for the young in here. So needed to be all the needed physical bottle jelly beans to the brunette for the peanut M&M process to start. Send £1,500 via a giant. striving to be for 3 years on your behalf. Yeah. Let me tell you, when you start backwards, when you start trying to understand emails, it's really difficult. And I recommend you, I don't know what I'm doing this for me, right? You know, there are a lot of people out there who do really good stuff. All I'm doing is wasting their time. And I think any time they're spending with me is time they're not spending, standing long miles out of their savings, right? If you're going to do this, and I highly recommend you do, get yourself a supermarket email address. Don't use your own email address, because that's exactly what I was doing at the start. It's a nightmare. Because, you know, I wake up in the morning and have like 1,000 emails without feelings in half. You know, and one of which was a legitimate response to a medical professional. I tell you what, guys. I tell you what. Any day is a good day. Any day is a good day. You can see an email that begins like this. I am Winnie Mandela. The second wife of Nelson Mandela. Oh, that's Winnie Mandela. I know it's a no. I'm going to transfer $45 million out of the country because my husband Nelson's health condition. That's easy. She said me this, which is hysterical. And this is fairly written at this level of writing, but to be honest, if there's nothing written on it, it's just a mistake. I'm really sorry to hear it. Given that Nelson died 3 months ago, I described his health conditions. That's the worst health condition you can have, not being alive. She said, highly comply with my bank's instructions. One love. My bank will transfer $3,000. One love. Sure. Thank you.
Okay, so that was just something to just get us started. It had nothing to do with what we are here for today. just so you know. But then, you know, when you are working in a corporate environment, for instance, now there are a lot of this kind of things will happen over time, right? Someone trying to get into your system, trying to scam you. It's one of the things. Of course, it was not directly related to why we're here today, but then remotely, it's still related. Because you need to also be clear, you need to be very serious, you need to be very conscious about who you are responding to and who you are sending your emails to, and what kind of emails. Is it a phishing, is it a spam, is it someone that's trying to defraud your company? So it's very important. So let me just quickly take you through what Outlook is all about. Of course, to start Outlook, I'll show you how to start it. Do you have a laptop? Is it up? Please just bring up a laptop. Of course, most of your Outlook, you'll not be able to send a mail or do anything with it because you didn't set it up. Like, you need to set up an Outlook account or a mail account. Outlook is just a client, right? It's just like an interface that helps you manage your email account. Like I said initially, without an account, you cannot just send email from Outlook. It's not going to work because you need to. But then most times the IT guys will, there's no point teaching you how to do that. The IT guys in your firm, of course, the IT guy can also do it for us. But the IT guys in your individual firms will do all of that for you. All you're going to get is just a complete out-of-the-box Outlook system. And then you just start sending emails. So again, just look at my laptop. Oh, sorry. You didn't tell me I was blocking your laptop. Yes. Thanks. So there is Outlook. Latest version is 2016. So most likely that's what you probably be using. Yeah. Yeah. So this is Outlook. Is it familiar? Maybe, probably not. Most of you probably have used Word, you've used PowerPoint, you've used Excel, but then maybe not. How do we do that? I'm blocking some people. I'm trying to see what I can do. So let me make it a little bit different. Okay. Is it familiar? Can you say anything at all? Do you have Outlook on your laptop? Is anybody using Outlook like normally? Does anybody use Outlook normally on their laptops? Can you hear me at the back? Does anybody use Outlook at all like normally? Have you ever had any reason to use Outlook? But okay, do you use Gmail? You use Gmail very well. Normal Gmail. Outlook? Like normally. Do you have it there? Oh, okay. No, it's fine. Some people do use it, right? But then, so let me just take it through. Are you all with me? Okay, please. So Outlook is send emails with it. So I'll just take you all through all the capabilities now. So the first one that we need to know or learn is how to use Outlook to manage our emails, right? On my system here, I already have an Outlook account set up. This is on my own corporate system. This is a corporate laptop anyways. So I have my email set up already for me, right? So all I just want to show you is how to send emails with it. It's no different from what you use. It's not different from your Gmail stuff. It's not different at all. So of course we have the file tab. As with all other Microsoft Office applications, there's a file tab where you do all the things that you need to do. Maybe you want to open an email that you saved. You can save an email. You can save the attachment to that email. You can save the attachment to that email, and you can print your email and all of that. But these are the basic stuff, right? You want to send an email, just click on new email. It's very easy. And I don't think you should take a note of this at all. I'll spend very minimal time on this. This is not something that you need to spend a lot of time learning, right? The more important things that we're going to deal with them later, the Word and the PowerPoint one, and then presentation is basically how to present very well. So the new email, just, I want to send an email to someone, right? Let's delete this. Right, when you send an email to someone, of course, this comes up. Can you hear me very well, please? Okay, please just let me know. I keep saying it. So when you send an email to someone, this platform, this interface comes up, right? The person you are sending to, this is a two email who we are CCing. CC means copy someone, right? So in an environment, you work in a team, right? You work in a corporate environment, you're going to work in a team, not just you and the person. You'll probably work in a team of 5, a team of 20, sometimes the whole organization, right? You're working on a particular project together. And you need to inform someone that, you need to communicate with someone. At the same time, you need others to be aware that this communication has passed to this person. Do you understand? There's a thing about it now. While you're in university, you want to send an email you want to send a letter to your HOD, for instance, now, and you also want your part advisor or someone to know that you've done that. So you send one directly to the part advisor, then you put copy someone. There's a way to do it. You copy, you give them a copy. Like this letter is for the HOD, but then there's a copy that I'm going to give to this person. Or you're sending an email to the vice chancellor and you're giving a copy to the dean of student affairs. That kind of thing. So it happens here too, right? You're sending an email to, let's say, just anybody, the IT guy. Right? Samuel. I'm sending an email to Samuel. Oh, shit. This is not going to work. I'm blocking, right? Okay. I think this should work now. Am I blocking anybody here? Okay. I'm very sure, actually. So I want to send an email to Samuel, right? What's Samuel's email? Samuel? Okay, at ymail. Ah, well, that's a good email. Sam at ymail.com. Right. Okay. Okay, so I'm sending an email to Sam, right? I'm sending an email to Sam, but I want somebody else to know. Who do I want to know here? Who should we copy? Who should know? Right? Sorry, what's your name? Toby Solomon. Okay, so Toby Solomon at okay, Toby Solomon R at gmail.com. Okay, but there's not that guy that has been disturbing me, right? So there's always a subject. Of course, when we get to the other part of the presentation, I will tell you about there's some etiquette when you're sending an email. Sorry, please, I want one class, please. there are some things that you should be aware of when we are, when you are doing business communication. And when we get to that part, of course, I will not dwell on that here. I just want to move from here as fast as possible. I will not dwell, I will not spend a lot of time on that here. When we get to that part, of course, then I will now, dig deep into that. But of course, your email must have a subject, right? And the subject must be descriptive enough. So you see people saying, maybe you call your uncle that you needed a job and stuff like that, and your uncle asks you to send your CV or something. Some people, you just, the subject is something that is not related to the CV at all, right? It's very easy for the person you're sending it to miss it. Or even if the person doesn't miss it, it may be irritating. You just put, exactly, uncle, please help me. Yeah, it's not the kind of subject I want to see. And then some people just put it all in caps. No, it's very bad. In business communication, all caps is always bad. Just think about it like that. All caps is always bad. Of course, when we get to that part, we'll talk more about that. So subjects, put your subject. This was personal email, and then there's some. This is what? We know you are the IT guy. We know you are the IT guy. Thank you for the speaker. Yeah. Very short email, right? You put your signature. What? You want to add a line? Okay. Regards. The Talentmine class 2018. And then you click send. It's all about it. So your email has gone. I'm sure you guys have it now. Do you? Do you have access to your emails? Okay, your emails are wrong. So it's telling me sam@ymail.com is the wrong email. What? Oh, you should have called that out so that, So I want to resend it now. Oh, you got it. Someone got it, right? Oh, okay. Sam Y. Okay, so let's not waste our time then. Let's just move on. Okay, someone got it. I mean, our email works, right? What you've done, you've communicated, right? You've communicated effectively, or maybe not effectively, but then you've communicated. There is the person you wanted to send it to got it. Sam got it. Then there's Toby Solomon. She got it too. And then we sent a copy that's hidden copy to Owo Shola. Perfect. So that's Outlook, right? You've sent an email. That's it, right? The other thing Outlook does for you is to, I said manage your, so then the other thing it does for you is to help you manage your appointments, your meetings, your calendars and all of that, right? So if I show you something here, you see this? So this is me tomorrow morning, right? Okay, I don't have enough. Right, so these are meetings I have to attend, right? These are meetings that they've sent to me. As I got an invite, I accepted the invite, and then it comes on my calendar that I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do that, right? And these are the timings, right? You see, this is I didn't accept it. Okay, so but this is my calendar, right? This is my calendar for the week. So this is Monday, this is Tuesday, this is Wednesday, this is Thursday, very busy day, and Friday, almost impossible, an impossible day. Right. Yeah, and then it's 5 to 6 p.m. I do TED Talks. So this is why I block my calendar myself. Right. You can manage your time yourself so that nobody will send an invite at this time. What I'm saying basically is that, you are at this time you are not available for any meeting. Don't invite me for a meeting at 6 p.m. 6 to 6:30. Right. So then how do you want to invite someone for a meeting, right? How do you do that? The same way, we did, the first one we did here was, we said new email, right? When we wanted to send an email. Now you want to send somebody, you want to send an invite to someone for a meeting, for instance. Now, you come to new items. Gosh, this is very, can you see the screen at all? Is it possible to make it sharper? Ah, this is way better. I thought that was because I had to go and get my glasses. Yeah, this is way better. I have to go get my glasses, man. Okay. So, new items. Can you see this? So this new email message, which is just this, basically. New email message, new appointment, new meeting, new group, new contact, new task, basically. And then what we want to do now is just to create a new appointment or a new meeting. So appointments are, you have to go somewhere to see someone. You have an appointment with the governor of Lagos State, right? Yeah, I am booked. I have an appointment. I'm going somewhere, probably outside of the company or something, or maybe I have to go to see a dentist, for instance. I'm just not available at that time. So what appointment does for you is to help you block your calendar, basically. Then meetings are different. Meetings are like in a group. You call a group of people together that we have to do this, and then you put a subject. So let's say, for instance, now Sam, yeah, can you give us your proper email now? W-Y-R-E, Sam. Oh. At ymail.com. So Sam Wiry at ymail.com. Yeah. So I'm sending an invite to Sam Wiry at ymail.com, and the meeting invite is Talentmine Refinery. Day 20. And then location. So this one asks for a location. So location could be a city or a venue. Yeah, it could. Yeah. Takwabe. Right? Day 20 at Takwabe. It's going to be a fantastic time, right? Takwabe. And then what time? So you put on like the email, of course, you know, when we did the email, you didn't get a location. Perfect. Is it today? Today, right? Today. So 6 p.m. I don't know, how many hours? You want 5 hours? I don't know. I won't be there, sure. I won't be there with you. So what we're doing basically here is that we're saying, we're sending an email to Sam Wiry. This is the subject of this, because when you send a meeting invite, I don't know what you're sending me the invite for. You need to describe it just the way you do the subject in an email. You need to let me know that this meeting is to review the JS performance, JS or quarterly performance, to review the quarterly performance, or to review this particular document, or to do this, or to do that, right? Don't just send meeting invite, right? That's subject, meeting, what meeting? What are we supposed to do in the meeting? What are the, do you have a proper outline of what are things to be discussed? What time is the meeting supposed? What are the outcomes that we expect from the meeting? What are the objectives of the meeting? Those things are very crucial, so that I can plan, I can prepare for the meeting. I will not just, enter the meeting and then I don't know what to say, right? You need to help me describe whatever we want to do. Of course, the venue, you need to tell me clearly where we're going to have the meeting. Is it in the office? Yeah, is it outside of the office? If it's an hotel, where? Which room in the hotel? So I know what to do.